Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see here, I have made another crochet project, and this time it is a sweater. It is a winter sweater. I did try to make it a little bit bigger than it is, but I don't know. my mind is working on its own at this point, I guess. But I really like the way it turned out, and I would like you to keep watching. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment if you do watch and tell me what you think. Alright guys, so for this project I'm going to be using these colors. So this one I have made into something I didn't like it, so I decided to loosen it. And I will be using the Narco Vega yarn in pink and black and this color. I might change my mind, I don't know, but for now I have these two colors. So I am going to be mixing them up as I go on, so I'll be putting you through the process. So this yarn, it has sort of like a wool's touch. So it is acrylic yarn, but it feels like wool. And the base color is the pink, and these are just the colors that I will be adding to them. And the hook for this yarn is, I usually use a 2.5mm hook or 3mm hook for myself. So for you, you can use anything that is suitable, but as is written here, between 2 to 3mm would hook would be perfect for this yarn. And also it is a 195-meter yarn and 100 grams. So I don't really know how many I will be using because I want it to be kind of big. So yes, we're going to get right into the... So we're going to be doing the Suzette stitches. So if you don't know how to do a Suzette stitch, I will be putting you through the process. So the first thing we're going to be doing is to make a slip knot, and then once we have our slip knot, we're going to be making a chain of 11. So once we have our 11 stitches, we're going to skip one stitch, and into the next stitch we're going to make a single crochet. Alright, so once we are done with our first single crochet row, we're going to make a chain of 1 and then flip our work and into the outer post. Now in the outer post, out of the 2 loops you usually put your hook through, the one on the other end, you put your hook through it and then pull and continue with your single crochet. So that is a back loop single crochet. So we're just going to do this till the end of the row. Alright guys, so once you have a single crocheted into every available stitch, we're going to make a chain of 1 and then do the exact same thing for the next row. You single crochet into the back loop and then you continue. So the turtleneck is going to be pretty big, so we're just going to be doing this for a whole lot of rows till we get our desired number, or would I say width, of the sweater. So we're just going to continue like this till we get our desired number of rows. Alright guys, so I am done with my ribbons. And I didn't really count them, but I did, I did make sure they were enough to go around my body. So you can count them if you want to. So now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be joining the two ends together. So you're just going to make a chain of 1 and then insert the hook through the second part and single crochet. So we're just going to do this for to connect them together. Alright guys, so this is what it should look like, and on the other side like this. So now that we're done with that, we're going to make a chain of 1 and then begin single crocheting into the this side of the project. Just single crochet all around so that when we start the main project it's easier. And as we single crochet, we're going to be making increases. So you can do an increase of maybe 10 single crochets and then 1 increase, and then 10 single crochets with 1 increase, because that's what I will be doing, because I want it to be a little bit bigger than the ribbons. So once you have 10 single crochets, you make an increase. So now we have 10. So the 11th one, I'm going to add another single crochet, and then we do another 10. And then we do another increase. and we will do that till the end of the row. So what is going to happen is hopefully the last stitch is going to be an even number. Yeah, so the last stitch hopefully is going to be an even number, and then we will begin with the Suzette stitches. So if you remember very well, Suzette stitches, we make 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and then we skip 1 stitch and do the same thing. Skip 1 stitch and 1 single crochet stitch and 1 double crochet stitch in the same loop. Instead of stitch, let me say loop. And we're going to go around, and then I will see you after I'm done with this single crochet row. Alright guys, so I'm done with the single crochet row. So we're just going to slip stitch the first single crochet to the last, like so, and then make a chain of 1, and then we're going to flip our work and work from this side. Alright guys, so after the we slip stitch our work together, we make a chain of 1, and then we flip our work, and in the very first stitch we're going to be making 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet. So for the double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook through the loop and pull through, and then you're going to pull through 2 loops and then pull through the last 2, and then we're going to skip 1 stitch, and into the 3rd stitch we're going to do another single crochet and double crochet. So we skip again, and then to the 5th stitch 1 single crochet and double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same loop as a single crochet, pull through 2 and pull through everything. So that's how you make your double crochet. So we're going to be doing this till we get to the end of the row, and then I will see you at the end of the row. So this is what it should be looking like right now. Alright guys, so I am done with the first row. So there is only 1 stitch left. So we're going to slip stitch the row short like so, and then make a chain of 1, and then we're going to flip back our work and into the very first stitch. So you can see here there's 1 stitch here before another stitch here. So we're going to do our single crochet and double crochet into the first stitch, and then skip, and into the next stitch we're going to do our next single crochet and double crochet. So you have to remember that you always have to end your row with a single crochet. So that slip stitch serves as our single crochet, and then we continue with our pattern, and I will see you at the end of row 2. Alright guys, so we are going to I'm done with the row actually, so we're going to slip stitch the parts together like so, and then we're going to chain up 1 and flip, and then we're going to continue with the same thing. So into the very first stitch we are going to make a single crochet and a double crochet, and then continue with the pattern. So we're going to continue this for however number of rows you feel like would be enough for you. For me, I don't really know. I'm just going to keep crocheting as I go, and I will see you back once I want to put in the first color. Alright guys, so I have done a very good number of rows and I infused the second color. So as you can see, I'm making some kind of a flower. Now, I didn't do this part of the project on camera because I was trying to figure out how it would look, and I got the bottom part of it figured out. So I can show you the upper part, and then basically what I'm going to be doing for the upper part is the opposite of what I did here. So we're going to so for the lower part, I started with two different sides. It's supposed to look like this, which means one part of the flower on the front and one part of the flower on the back. So I just divided the project in two and worked from the middle part of the back and the middle part of the front. So I got 10 stitches here. That's 10 of this pattern here and on the other side, and then I worked by adding one to open it up. So I added one to open them up until they joined, and here I just continued on the same row for a couple of rows, and then I started working my way back inside, and I did the same thing here. So we're going to be doing the opposite of that. So now we're going to be working our way out. Okay, so work our way out until we get to the top. So I will be showing you what I mean by that. So I did draw it on a piece of paper, so whatever shape you want to do, I would suggest you map it out on a piece of paper so you know what you're doing precisely. So alright, so I'm just going to take out some of the stitches so we can go along together. So if you remember correctly, the pattern is 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and here 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. So going in, 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So this will be the last stitch where I take the color in. So for the last double crochet, we're not going to insert through the last 2 hoops. Instead, we're going to be using the second color. So we're just going to hold the end of it like this and crochet it. So that's how you add your second color, and then we're going to hold it down, and then into the next stitch we're going to continue with our pattern of 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet. So you have to make sure you hold it down and you pass the hook through with the loose yarn still there. So what you're doing is you're hiding the yarn beneath, just like I did here. You can see peaks of the pink beneath the crochet. and we're going to continue. So we continue with this pattern till we get to the end of what we're doing. Alright guys, so we are going to do the last work here and then continue with the pink from here to the end of the row. Now like I said, we're working towards bringing the project inside. So to bring it inside as well, we have to make sure there's a pink here. So we're gonna do the last one together. So for the double crochet, the last thing we're gonna do, we're going to pull through the last 2 loops with the pink and then continue till we get to the end of the row. Now once you're done, you can cut the yarn off, which is usually what I do, or you can just keep it rolling. It's left to you, but I usually cut the yarn off. Alright, so we are a couple of rows in, so I'm just going to pull this inside like this and cut the yarn. So what that does is it buries the stitch inside the stitches we've already done. Alright guys, so we're at the end of the row. So we're not gonna put the stitch into this second row. Instead, we're going to slip stitch the row together and then chain 1 and then flip our work. And then in that same stitch, we're going to put our first single crochet and double crochet before we skip. And then we're going to go all the way back to where we started from. Alright guys, so now we're going to be working in the opposite direction. So for the previous row, remember we worked the pink into the first stitch. So for this row, we're going to be working the white into one stitch before. So this is the second half of the flower. This is the first row of that. So then we're going to start our stitch, or rather continue our stitch. Alright guys, so we are at the last stitch. So if you remember, we added a pink on top of the white, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to crochet the same white here, and then here we're going to add another white and then change the color. and then continue to the end of the row. Alright guys, so as you can see here, we're starting to bring the the lighter part out, and the same thing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to attach the yarn, okay, and then continue to the other side, and then at the other side as well, we are going to stop the lighter pink here. So I will see you there, so you can see what I'm trying to say. Alright guys, so this is what I was talking about. So we're just going to keep extending this lighter color until we get to this point, and then we're going to stop and then begin to go back inside. So I will see you after a couple of rows. Could be it could be 6 to 7 rows. So I would see you. So your project should look this type of, or it should look like this, half of the bottom half. After 6 to 7 rows, it should look like half of the bottom half, and then we're going to do the second half together. Alright guys, so I where I need to be. So this stitch right here, this brighter color, is on the same space as this one down here, so they're where they have to be. So we're just going to make 3 rows, 3, 4 rows, let's say 3 rows, without any increase of the white one here, or decrease or anything. We're just gonna be on the same line for 3 rows before we start working back inside. So I'm just going to connect the second color, and I'm so sorry if my explanations don't make sense. It's just very hard explaining, you know, it's really because it's not like I'm a teacher or anything. I'm just inspiring you to make something nice. So we're going to hold it down and oh my god, I'm so sorry. So we're going to do one more. So like I said, we're starting here, we're not increasing or anything like that. So we're going to make one more, and then the closing stitch will be the second color. Like this, and then we continue with our pattern. I really don't want this video to be long, but it's going to be. That's why I skipped the half for the other half, but it's still pretty far. So we're going to work 3 rows, and I'll see you after the 3rd. Alright guys, so we can see coming together really nicely. So I did the 3 rows, as you can see right here and right here. So we're going to start the decrease. So the project is not going to get to this this point. So I'm going to make like a ball on top, so it's a complete flower or butterfly, if you may, whichever one. So that's how it's going to look. So so now I'm going to be joining the other color. So with every row, we're going to push the white color back in. My bad. Alright, so put one in and then into the next so yeah, that's our first one, and then we continue to work towards the inside. Alright guys, so I'll see you. So with every row, we're going to start working our way inside. So we will replace one white color with a pink on top, and then white color with a pink. We'll keep replacing them with pink on tops. So we get to kind of like a middle point, and then we make another one like a ball to cover it. Or you can as well just with every row keep from here, the middle point, you can just start adding the pink to kind of open it up, but that's not what I'm going to be doing. But I can do that in a different video if you would like. So you can indicate in the comment section if you would want me to make another flower, sweater or top, and we can do it that way. Or I could do that instead. I'm still kind of deciding right now, so I'm just gonna do a couple of rows and see how it looks, and I'll decide if I'm gonna do that instead of making a ball on top. Alright guys, so I decided instead of making a head or another petal, I'm just going to make it a 4 clove flower, 4-leafed flower. So at the middle here, we're going to start putting pink. So 1 pink, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. So that's what we're going to do. So for the bottom part, I did 1, and then 3, and then 5, and then 7, and then 9. So we're going to do the same thing here. So 1 leaf, and then 3, and then 5, and then 7. So at the center, right here, so if you're working on the center, then it should be right in the middle. So this is my center portion. So this is my center portion, and then the center, which is right here. And then we're going to work. So I'm going to and then add the pink, just 1. And then continue with the other color. So we're going to keep increasing the pink. So the next one will be 3 stitches, and then the next one will be 5, and then the next one will be 7, till we are done with the flower. So this is what it will start to look like this. So the more it opens up, the more you're going to see it. I will see you on the next row. Alright guys, so I did the 3 right here. It's a 3, 1 here and then 3 here. So we're going to do 1 further to the side. So we're going to do 1. And then I'm doing 1 more here. And then we continue with the white. So as you can see, it's going to start opening up, just like the one here. It's going to start opening up, and we'll continue like that. So for the next row, we're going to do 1 here and 1 here too. So the pink will expand to this place and this place. And then we will continue bringing this in till it gets to this, till it gets to somewhere around this point. And then we're done. Alright guys, so we have finally finished this part. As you can see, this is what it looks like, all done, all completed. And then I went ahead to make the shoulder portion and the neck portion for this one. So we're gonna be doing this one together. So I just want to show you how it really looks. So this is what it looks like, actually, like a real butterfly. I am so pleased. So we are going to start this part. Now we're just gonna complete the number of rows left. So I think I have just 3 rows. So what I did was, to get this divide, was I just split the middle. So the middle portion is basically the end here where we would close the row and go back. So that was one end, and then the other end was just basically the other half. So we're going to be working from one end to the other. All right, so it's just gonna be the same thing, only this time we are not going in a circle. Instead, we're just going in a line, a straight line. So so we're gonna skip this first this double crochet, and into the single crochet we're going to start the job. So I'm just going to make a chain of 1. So we're just going to start here. So we're not working on the double crochet, instead we're working on where we have a single crochet, if you remember properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a single chain 1 like this, and then in the same row make my first Suzette stitch, and then skip 1 and into the next stitch continue with the Suzette stitch, and all the while holding down this edge of the sweater. So we're just gonna keep going so all the way to the end. As you can see here, we're going to do one more in the white part of the project. So from here we are going to get our lighter colored yarn, and we're going to connect it. So the same thing we've been doing the whole time. We're going to connect it and then hold it down